All right, we are recording. Welcome. This is the 1099 Ladies Networking Online Chapter Meeting. I am your host, Chrissy P. Rowlands, and tonight we're going to have a conversation around taking consistent action. And it's interesting because this topic's been coming up quite a bit in the conversations that I've been having lately, so I'm excited to dive into it with the ladies that are here tonight. And if you're new to the 1099 Ladies, we are a no-cost, non-seat specific networking group for women here in the Raleigh and surrounding areas and beyond in North Carolina. And we have a Facebook group. We'd love for you to come join us at 1099 Ladies Facebook group, as well as 1099ladiesnetworking.com. You can find out about the other chapters. You can connect with the other 1099 ladies. You can catch past replays, recaps from these online meetings. And here online, we do network just a bit different. We use it as an opportunity to bring our wisdom and experience to the table and talk about different topics that are relevant to business women in both our personal and professional lives. And we'd like to take a look at what challenges we're having, what commitments we want to make around it, and see where we can find strengths in some areas to pull over in others, as well as help to give some perspective to one another. And before we dive into tonight's conversation, I'd love to give the ladies who are here on the line tonight an opportunity to say hello and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what your business is, or what brings you here to tonight's call. And if there's anybody in particular you'd love to connect with, now's a great time to let us know. And just make sure you take yourself off of mute, as Tammy has already done. So go right ahead, Tammy. All yours.
I'm Tammy Taz with Rock the Tazbah Photography. And I wear two hats now, but I'll tell you about the photography. Do you want to have a relaxed photo session? Do you feel nervous in front of the camera? Do you feel the camera doesn't capture your personality? Well, I capture Vulture's personality. And let me tell you, they're not hard to deal with, but you know, is for personality wise. I'm different than other photographers where I stop the clock. But you do the outfit change once you get back in front of the camera starts rolling and the clock starts rolling again. My other hat is, have you heard about magnetic eyelashes? Oh my God, get rid of the glue. No more old-fashioned glue. You can just do magnetic eyelashes. I sell them and they make your eyes pop. And the other business is Rock Tazbah Lashes. So think about it. Magnetic lashes, say bye-bye glue. Wish I had these 8 years ago when I had no lashes. So Tammy Taz with Rock the Tazbah Photography and Rock Tazbah Lashes.
Awesome. And now they can get their lashes and then have a photo session with you better. Wonderful. Thanks, Tammy.
Hey everyone, my name is Carlene LeMay with C2 Accounting and Business Support. We are a virtual management accounting firm based in North Carolina, but we can service clients all over the country. We have clients right now in New Jersey, Virginia, Florida, Maryland, so we are servicing clients wherever. Right now, we're spending a lot of time doing training. So if you have an accounting software that you're not quite sure what you need to do with it, we do offer customized training sessions. These are customized to exactly what you need to learn so that you can manage your business finances. Again, this is Carlene LeMay with C2 Accounting and Business Support.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carlene. Glad you can make it tonight. And Jean, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I am Jean McCullough, and I created a company called Better for Your Body. So my premier product is actually from Ruby Ribbon. I help smooth, tuck, and lift all without underwire. We actually officially just launched yesterday our level 1 support. So we actually can service all the way level 1 through level 5. Most people, if they've ever tried a Camion, probably have tried our level 3 and probably 4 supports. Our 1 released last night. It is more like lingerie. It's very, very, very pretty. Very sexy. We have a very hot red for Breast Health Awareness Month. So the ladies that I like to help are anyone that's complaining about their bra. If they've got little daughters coming along that are starting to need something, we can take care of them. We can take care of ladies all the way from A to P, size 32 to 50. And then my other little side gig thing is that I help ladies work out. I'm helping ladies get off the couch, helping hold them accountable. I just do a 10-minute little, I call it my mini whoa with Jean, which is my mini workout. So I do that on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock, just for about 10 minutes, just to get the blood pumping, get us off the couch, and get us ready for our day. So I'm Jean McCullough with Better for Your Body.
Awesome, Jean. So glad you could make it tonight as well. And I am Chrissy Key Rollins. I'm the owner of Holistic Restoration. I'm a holistic healer and business coach, and I offer a holistic approach that helps you to bring your business, your body, and your relationships into balance so that you can free up some of your time and energy that you're pouring into these areas and start to get more results that you see other people getting in these areas without having to have as much effort going into them. So I like to simplify things, show you where you can make some shifts for better alignment and open up to another level of receiving. And yes, brings us back around to consistent action, which is one of the things that I know it comes up a lot in the conversations that I have with other business owners whenever we're talking about what challenges and struggles they're facing. I think consistency is the one thing that I consistently hear. Everyone feels like they could be doing better when it comes to moving forward in their business and implementing things in their business. And this can fall into so many different arenas, in the networking arena and the, working with clients, paperwork, whatever it is. So I'm excited to hear what you ladies have to say whenever it comes to taking consistent actions. What is it that trips you up? What are the areas that you feel like you kind of lag behind in this? Where do you excel in this? What are your tricks for it? I want to know.
Don't everyone speak all at once. I'll let you go, Jean.
I was actually going to say that I struggle with all of it, but that's actually one of the reasons I started my mini woe, is to just help myself be not just more accountable, but more consistent. So I've promised my followers that I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and 98% of the time I make it. So, but it gets hard and monotonous to be consistent. I need to get better consistency with following up with people, not just being live on Facebook.
So following up and showing up. I'm going to note down both of those. I always like to take notes for the recap video. Following up. That's one area that I hear you speaking towards consistency. Sorry, I was saying whatever the word is. Y'all just insert the correct word there. Follow up. I say Carlene nodding her head on that. I know that it's one that comes up a lot in conversations that we have here online. So tell me a little bit more about that. And if you other ladies can relate to that too, what kind of follow-up do you feel like you could be doing better at? What are some of the tricks that you have for the following up or building that consistency?
I definitely need more consistency in showing up, especially online and social media. But the thing is, I have not been posting much over the past 6, 7, 8 months, and my business has actually increased. So I don't really know if I need to really even focus on that. But as far as following up is concerned, you all know I'm a digital girl, so I definitely do digital reminders to kind of follow up with people. I would like to get better at sending out like email marketing, and even marketing, just more newsletters and just email information to actually touch bases with those people who have reached out to me and have gotten on my mailing list that I'm not at all consistent with. So any tricks and tips for that, I would love to hear them.
One of the things that I know that I have had to employ to make sure that I am more consistent on things, or just even follow through on things entirely, is embracing letting it be simple. So I always want to hit all the marks. I want to do it at the right time. I want to make sure I have the right everything. And I'm so wanting everything to be right that I can overthink it, and it takes hours. So I've had to learn, like, just let it be simple. Just let it be simple. So how can I let something be simple, especially when it comes to emailing people? Because it's not like you just can be like, oh, I want to send an email. Done. Gosh, I wish it was like that. But now you got to think, okay, what am I going to send? What do I need to tell them about? What things need to link to what? How am I going to tell them about this? This is what goes through my head anyway. What image am I going to add? And then I intend to send an email after I make videos, but then if I get a couple behind, do I put them all into one email? Do I break it up into separate emails? Yeah, it's so much there to overthink for me. I have to embrace that. I think Jenny said it last week about better done than perfect, I think is what she said. So I try to think like, how can I just get it out there? If I didn't say all the things, if I didn't remind them about the workshop or the whatever I have going on, is it okay? Is it better to overthink it to the point of not doing it? Or can I just let it be simple and put it out there?
Simple, because that's the way we like it. Things, you know, I know you well enough to say that you rather have it simple than overthink, because you do overthink, you like me.
Mm-hmm.
But because I started the Lash business, I'm doing training with them and they're just like simple. Like when you go to reply to somebody, because I have it that PM me if you're interested, very simple, short, just little, wait for them to respond, and then another little thing, and then another little thing. So I had a, you know me, I had to rethink, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to try to follow that rule and see if it works. And it actually seems to be working. And I've only been doing this business for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that whole idea of like embracing imperfect action and just like getting it done, like just do it. And then to me, that consistency of just doing it builds it to where adding on extra stuff now doesn't feel all that extra. It feels like getting it done. So I just went through this as well. I do a lot of videos for any of y'all that don't know me already. I do a lot of videos, and it's usually me sitting here talking to a camera just like this, like I'm talking to you, because that's who I'm talking to. You're just not there yet all the time. So that's how I usually do my videos, and I just record them. I do one shot, I upload it. It's very rare that I don't do them live, and even if I don't do them live, I just do the one shot, because if I think about what I'm going to say, it's really messy, not as good. So I just do them. Well, I've done them so consistently for so long that now putting together edits or adding in music or putting the little words on the screen is what I'm doing now. But now it just feels like, oh, like I've just started doing videos, but that part's already done, if that makes sense. So I don't think I would be as embracing of all the extra stuff if I hadn't been so consistent in taking action on it in perfect first. Then I can just make it better and better and better, so to speak, if perfection's still what I'm aiming for, because we all know it is, because who's not? Not most business owners. Most of us are aiming for perfect. And feel free to correct me if you feel otherwise.
Not only am I a perfectionist, but I am my worst critic. So doing videos is, 15 takes where she's like, I need to just do one full one and get it out. And then if I need to go back, but I will start and stop so much. It's just so frustrating. So that's for me is kind of getting out of my own head and getting out of my way and just getting the content out there and not being so focused on what I look like. I love when a guy goes, just do a quick video. And I'm like, you're a guy. You could just do that. As a woman, it's a lot more involved. I need to at least look. Okay, so I've gotten better at doing videos. If I'm just doing a one-off to someone, especially if I'm explaining some information, I'll do one of the screenshots, just me at the bottom in the corner, so that the focus is off of my face and more on the information. That definitely helps. But yeah, getting out of my way would definitely be something that would help me to be more consistent in showing up.
And you know what? We are consistent because we are showing up for networking groups. So you have to be, but I'm a perfectionist too. So if you saw how many times I do videos, my commercials, you would laugh because you would think, oh, she just did it one shot. No, because I'll be like in the middle of it and I'll be like, that's not what I wanted to say. Got to do it over again. Or I wasn't standing in the right position in the yard doing it. So yeah, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my videos, but I've been getting better with my lives. I just like, let it go, let it wing while I'm driving in the car or something, or I'm sitting in the parking lot, just get on the camera and I'm like, it is what it is. It's reality.
Absolutely. I have been recruiting my daughter to help me with my videos for a number of reasons. It lets me do more than just hold the camera and talk into it because I'm not very techie sophisticated over here. And my husband offered to help me the other night when my daughter was unavailable. And I was like, great, just hold the camera, hit record, I'll do the rest. But he's like, well, what are you going to say? And what do you want in the shot? And how do you want me to? I'm like, Keely doesn't ask me all these questions. She just says, okay, mom, go. And then we just do it. So I found that his analytical mind and the way he plans it out doesn't really work for me as well. Because then I was like, well, what am I going to say? What do I want in the shot? And it got me in this other mindset. I mean, I try to think about some things, some basic things, like make sure I have on pants, make sure I brush my hair, something like that. But I try not to overthink it too much. But it helps also having someone who you do match well with, be able to help you take the action and follow through on it too. Because it does feel easier when my family's on board, when I know that she doesn't mind, help me make a video real quick. I definitely think that's more fun. Or taking the action.
When you do the lives, you don't have a choice. It's live. So whatever's behind you, whatever you said that you didn't mean to say, it's too late. It's live. So I'm definitely, if I have to record something, I'm definitely more, like 15 takes is not unreasonable.
Yeah.
And
Make sure
live,
the
you can
background's-
delete.
Yeah. Delete, yeah.
If I have to fit it in a mold, like I know I did a pitch to a company one time, and I wanted to introduce myself, but I knew that the owner of the company would never watch a video from somebody that he doesn't know if it was over a minute. So that was my goal, was to say everything that I could about me in exactly a minute, or just a little bit less, or maybe it was 2 minutes, but definitely not more than that. And then it's like I'm trying to say this, and this is very strategic. That I would have to do over and over and over again for sure. But that's why I just kind of embraced it, hit live, and then just freaking like here in front of me and have asked me a question, and I just started talking. But that's the only way I get it done. So.
And for me, having accounting as a topic, which we all know, not many people want to sit and watch a long accounting video. So I really have to be strategic in how can I get some really important information in this package, because they're not going to sit through 10 minutes of me talking about profit and loss statements. It's just not happening.
Yeah, even you saying it, I was like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
She does a good job though when she presents at the 1099 ladies. She's got the attention of all of us, including me, because I've pretty much been at all of them, and I will be at it tomorrow with her because I got to support my friend and my sister, so, but I enjoy listening because I catch something different each time. So I can actually sit there and listen to, I was listening to something the other day, a lawyer, and I thought I was going to fall asleep, but it was interesting, even though I almost fell asleep.
When I'm presenting, visuals help. I don't want someone to just sit here, watch me talk. I have to have something to kind of not just be focused on me.
That's kind of a common thing. That's one of the things that I've been enjoying with doing the video edits, is that I'm realizing, like, if you're into what I'm saying, that's cool. But if you're not really there with me and connecting, there's not much else to connect to in my videos when it's just me talking. So I've been adding some words on the screen and some little like 3D graphics and having fun with it, all things that my daughter approves. So I'm hoping that it's at least entertaining, if nothing else. So yeah, that was my thought. I was like, if something's moving on the screen, or if something's coming up or going away, or, flipping in the corner, whatever, perhaps it would be more interesting to watch along with the content, what you're actually blah, blah, blahing about.
It's like my video today that I did sitting in Rex parking lot. It was just like so entertaining. It was the hair, it was just like, people were like, oh my God, that was too funny. Because I was like being like me, but more dramatic. And it was just like, people were like, oh my God, that was too funny, because with the pink hair and the pink tails. It was comical at the same time. It was just, but it's my crazy Eddie type commercial type thing. But it was just, and I took it and switched it to the other branding I'm doing. So it was like, you know, but everybody, people actually paid attention to it, which I was shocked because I wouldn't have lasted those 9-point-something minutes, but it was funny.
I'm hearing a little theme emerge, and I think this theme comes up a lot for us whenever we talk about all these different common factors within our businesses. But what I'm hearing is to be yourself and to make it fun. If I'm myself and Tammy's herself, and Carlene can just relax into herself and let her be her awesome self. What I'm hearing, and Jean's got that same experience with the live videos, if you're just yourself, it's kind of easier to take the action than trying to make it perfect or try to be something. And when it's fun, not only is it more fun for you to make, I know it's more fun for me to make, to add these little things. I can't wait for y'all to see this. Somebody go watch my latest video and leave me some feedback. I'm trying to keep them short too. I'm trying to do like more consistent short ones. So this one's less than 5 minutes, maybe right at 5 minutes, but yeah. That keeping it fun. It was fun for me to do. It's a different kind of fun, but if it's fun to make, probably it'll be fun to watch and fun for other people to engage with. What were you going to add, Carlene?
No, actually, I was thinking of something, but are there any other areas other than videos, which we all kind of struggle with, but are there any other areas that anyone else is not being consistent in? I know for me, it's asking for referrals, asking for the sale. I've gotten much better with the way my sales system worked. By the time we're actually into a demo, we're talking about it, by the time I send you a quote, you've already said yes. I'm just sending you a quote for formality. So I've gotten better, but I haven't gotten as good at being consistent with asking for referrals, especially from my existing clients. I don't know why, but I haven't done that. Is anyone else struggling with that as well?
Yes, I am. And I'm trying to learn with the lash business, the referral part, because to me, it's a little easier there than the photography part. So I'm like trying to do it the easy way. Once I learn it there, I should know it for the photography, but I do have problems asking for referrals. I just feel like, I don't know, it's kind of hard, but I just don't like asking for, basically asking for help by referring me. It's one of those, like, I'll give, but I don't like receiving is my problem, I think. So I do have problems with referrals. I mean, I tried today asking for referrals and I went to write it out. It just didn't look right, so I erased it.
Were you going to add something to that too, Jean?
Yeah, like at Ruby Ribbon, they have this whole checklist of things that, you know, they recommend that we ask everybody. And obviously, of course, referrals is on there. And, you know, if somebody wants to have a free cami or if somebody wants to earn some side money or, you know, but having that checklist, not that I use it often enough, but it is nice to at least have one that you can, you know. And I started using something called Google Streak. I don't know if you've heard of that, but I'm trying to incorporate their checklist into Google Streak. It's kind of like a fancy spreadsheet. I like it so far, but you can put, you know, like anything you want in there. So like I could have my little boxes in there, and then anytime I add a new person, the whole row of check boxes and stuff pops up, and I know whether I've done it or not. It's pretty obvious if the box is not checked.
I like that idea of a checklist because I think that that's helpful. Like whenever I don't know what you call it, onboard a new client, and I'm making sure that I have all their information and that I've set them up the way that I set my clients up so we can hit the ground running.
Yep.
And I like the idea of a checklist for the referrals and sales. Here's a couple of tips that as I'm reflecting on this, when do I ask for referrals and when do I ask for sales? One is that I've just learned to do it. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. So I've learned that it's better to be direct than to just suggest it. So I will say directly, is this something that you're interested in investing in? Does this sound like support that you're ready to receive? And I have also definitely strengthened my muscle a lot for asking for referrals. And one of the times that I do it is when I'm paid a compliment, when somebody says they're really enjoying the work that we're doing together, or something they've taken away, or something that really helped them. Then I'll say, that's so great to know. And if you know anybody else, I mean, I don't say it all in one sentence, but thank you for the feedback. I'm glad that you found value in it. And a lot of people don't always get what it is that my work's about. So now that you have a firsthand experience, I'm sure you know other people that struggle in this area or could benefit from this too. So know that I'm open to referrals. And then the other way that I've strengthened my muscle in doing it is kind of like, instead of asking for the sell, hey, I had this, would you mind sharing it with other people? Or do you know anybody that I could send this to? So instead of asking you, do you want to invest with what I have? It's more like, can you help me by sharing this with other people? Can you help me by giving me some direction on where I can send this to? And I also added on to my emails, forward this along to somebody else. If it can help, send it along. And I think I get that from sharing videos too. Like, share this with other people. So I don't know if that helps, or if that's a way to be more consistent on it.
Like maybe putting it in your email signature or something like that.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. I've seen real estate agents say that a lot. I'm never too busy for your referral, because real estate agents always come across very busy, I guess. And that also reminds me of testimonies, like having their feedback captured. I do fairly well whenever I send out, like when I have courses, but not everybody fills them out. If I've had like 12 people enroll in a course, I might get 2 of those back. And I don't necessarily go like, hey, knocking on their virtual door, hey, remember this? It would be helpful. So not only can I learn, but then I'd have feedback for other people. So testimonies can be something that can be more consistent in, for sure. One of the things that came up in a conversation earlier today that I was having with another business gal is around how we can identify, or this is one thing that's helped me that I was discussing with her, what is it that you're doing already that you can just shift a little bit and do it for your business? Like, where am I showing up even when I'm not showing up for business? And how can I work that next action step in as I show up here? So is it stopping by my Facebook group and adding, sharing a meme or something of inspiration while I'm going on just to have social time? Or if I'm already in an action, can I video that action and now I have a video to share? So something like that. If I'm already doing it, how can I make it something that aligns with a business step, a business action step at the same time? I think that's the clearest way to say it. Apologies for the rambling.
So you just mean adding, almost kind of like adding a baby step to something you're already doing, just take the one next little thing.
Yeah.
Definitely on social media, while you're playing around, just make sure, and I forget to do this, but make sure you're inviting people to your pages, to your groups, whatever, sending your invites and stuff, and trying to grow your friend list and all that kind of stuff. That's when you're on there anyway, you might as well try to grow your page and your list.
And make sure the posts that are for business are public. I found that out, because it was with my last group, we have a thing that we send it to a private message for boosting. And if you get 6 people in a half an hour and you're replying to them within a half an hour, it supposedly opens your algorithm. Yeah, I can't say that word for the life of me, but it opens that up to everybody, not just a small amount of people. So as you could see, I've been posting things and just trying to get people reacted so other people see it in my circle, because I have over 1,000 people in friends, and I want everybody to see it. So
okay, so we identified following up, just showing up, be more consistent with emails or those like relationship building. Is that what we call that? And have tips of being consistent, or excuse me, consistent first and then perfect later, to keep things simple, to see where it is that you're already showing up, and to be you and let it happen and make it fun. And then the other areas of needing to be more consistent around asking for referrals, sales, and testimonies, and the tip for that around having a checklist. Do you see any correlations between taking action in your personal life and how it is that you show up there and taking action in your business? Is there a different feeling or same kind of habits, or I don't know. I've never even thought about this for myself.
I know for me in my personal life, I don't like to ask for help. I've gotten better with my husband, but he's like the first person I felt like I could depend on. So in my business, I tend not to ask for help. I'll pay for help, but I won't ask for it. Just here, can I pick your brain? But I will gladly pay for it because I felt like it's just not me asking someone. So I know that's probably something I need to work on, but that's an area in which I struggle, asking for help.
I'm the same way. I can't ask for help, although I'm getting better. I'm actually asking for help with the lashes. So that has taught me something, that I don't know everything about lashes. I know enough about photography to be dangerous, but lashes I know nothing about. So I actually had to reach out of my comfort zone and ask for help. And that is not me. Asked my husband. Today our camera went out. I went and grabbed the ladder, climbed up and switched it out. And he's like, it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning. It's got to be done. And he's like, why didn't you? I could have done. It's like, I couldn't even ask him to do it. I went and did it because I'm impatient. It's got to be done now.
Maybe the asking for help will take you or help you take that consistent action. I know that's something I had to do for myself with having my husband home full time, having my daughter home full time. It's a nice opportunity to practice having some boundaries and identifying where you need boundaries. And as much as I would like to say, you two are too distracting and you interrupt me too much, no, I don't say that. I don't say, mom's working right now, be quiet, step away. I don't do that. I just say, oh, really, sweetie, because I love them and they're my people and I want to give them all my love and attention, but that doesn't also pay the bills and get everything taken care of that you need to get taken care of. So I've had to find that that's where I can ask for some more support instead of being the one who takes care of everything, being the one who says, hey, is this the most efficient use of my time? Or can someone else take care of this so that I can step away and not wait for them to read my mind and offer it, or to automatically know what to do, or to, like, if they're just waiting for me to say that and I don't ever say it, it never gets said. They're like, well, you didn't tell me that you were trying to work. You just let me talk for 3 hours. It's like, well, that's because you were talking for 3 hours and I listened. I don't know if anybody else has that struggle with people being at home, or if you're at home more, or being distracted from coworkers, but having better.
I'm so lucky that I have older people in my house, no little kids. And my husband, he's working all day, and my kids are doing stuff, and they know if the door's closed, that means, and I've even taught them, you can open the door, but if you see the blue light on my camera, my web camera, that I'm on a video call, so they don't have to come in. But I take breaks. I'm not always just working. So they know I am available if it's really an emergency.
Yeah, I like that clearly stated boundaries or expectations. So helpful.
Yeah, my door's closed and I have the green screen behind me. So if my husband had to come in the room, you wouldn't see him. Like the one time my power was going out during the 1099 lady, he's like, power, you lost the internet. And I was like, thank God the screen was there. Nobody saw him. But nobody could see me because my internet went out, but I was like so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, he's like talking, I'm on the thing, and he goes, you have no internet, so don't worry.
Too funny. So maybe having good boundaries and dedicated workspace would be a good way to stay consistent with your actions. Because I know that if I don't have that, I'm the type of person that to learn, I need to be in a classroom. So if I'm there to show up to get something done, I'm just easily distracted, quite frankly. Easily distracted, very easily distracted.
So a lot of us here on the call, a lot of us worked from home before COVID, so it's not something new for us. But if someone's listening, I know that actually getting dressed in the morning, I know it sounds simple, but getting dressed, and if you're going to be on a Zoom call, make sure your face looks good and hair is done, but so that you actually feel like you're working. I actually have a pair of sneakers that I only wear in the house. And I actually learned this trick from a book called Fly Lady. When I was a stay-at-home mom, it was kind of helping me keep organized. And she says, put on your uniform and you have shoes on because you're working. And so once I take my shoes off for the day, then I'm done. So as long as I have shoes on and a bra, that means that I'm still working. And so it helps me to stay in that mindset of, if I came in here in a robe, I don't think I would be as productive because you don't feel like you're working. Like you said, you need to be in the classroom. I need to be dressed.
I can help you get rid of that bra though.
Yes, we'll talk about that, especially the new ones you just mentioned.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love Flyway. I haven't paid attention to her in a long time, but she's awesome. But yeah, I forgot about dress to shoes. That's what she says.
Mm-hmm. And when especially when I was a stay-at-home mom, and it's like having that routine made me be very efficient and not feel like I was just sitting at home eating bonbons or something like that.
Well, so you're making me kind of realize so I have a part-time job too. I go to an actual office and I find myself being very consistent there. Like I wonder if that's why, because I have my space there and I go in and I know what I'm going to do next. And here doing my Ruby Ribbon stuff, I don't have a dedicated space. That's one thing. And my brain's all over the place all the time. Huh, it's interesting.
And it's definitely, go ahead, Carly.
No, I was just going to ask if you could have possibly you use Streak or something where you have the things to do for Ruby Ribbon on each day so that you at least can have some place you can look and go, okay, these are the Ruby Ribbon tasks that I need to accomplish. And so you don't feel like you have to sit down and think of what you need to do each time you sit down.
Right, yes, definitely need that.
That's super helpful too. My husband and I use OneNote. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it or not, but in that way we can have tabs that are like groceries and recipes and things like that we'll both need to access at times. And then with the things that he helps me with my business, if there's anything that he can take care of for me, then I can just put it there and then he can just go and check that instead of, whatever. And then it's live time, check off whatever it is, and then he can see it on his end too whenever he pulls it up. And there is a different mindset. There's a different mindset between how we show up. I have noticed over the years, a different mindset between how we show up for an employer and how we show up for ourselves. I was even thinking about that idea of being your own boss. But it's almost like in order to be your own boss, you need a boss to tell you what to do.
It's funny because I'll say things like, my boss is such a beep because she wouldn't let me off early today or something like that. Because I am a very tough boss on myself and I look at it that way. But I also give myself some grace that's maybe some other bosses wouldn't. But yeah, you do have to think of it like this is a job and you need to make sure you treat it as such.
I totally agree with that. And I think that even the more years that I put into this and don't quit, basically, the more years that I stick with it, the more that you realize things as you go through them, and the deeper that you understand them and build better habits and skill set. I think a lot of things is just skill set that you can't acquire except for in the trenches. But just really realizing that when we can go beyond and when I can go beyond showing up or not showing up, whenever I feel like it, versus realizing that when I don't feel like it, it's not that I'm not showing up for me, and I'm the boss and nobody knows. No, in those times, I'm not showing up for my daughter. I'm not showing up for my husband. I'm not showing up for that bigger commitment that I've made that has way more to do than just dealing with myself. So many more people are affected by the choices. I mean, of course, all of y'all would miss out if I didn't show up and grace you with my whatever thing I'm talking about. And but beyond that, it's not just about me or the people that I'm working with. It really is about who am I showing up for and who am I skipping out on? Am I skipping out on just myself? And why is that even okay?
If she skips out, you got me. So guess what? You probably want her because she's the better of the two of us.
No way. No way. You're unreplicatable, Tammy. Is that a word? Unreplicatable.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm one character that nobody can copy. People have tried, but they're just like, I don't know how you do it. You know, you're fighting cancer, but yet you're pushing forward and you're doing wacky things. I said, well, if I can make somebody laugh, it makes me feel better.
How else are you going to spend your time, right? Whatever experience you create, you're a part of it. Awesome. I've really been embracing the let it be easy principle. How can this be easier? Or even just the whole mindset of what's one thing I can do? What's one thing I can do? Or give it 5 minutes. I've done that to myself for workouts. When I didn't feel like working out, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes. When I get dressed, put on my shoes, I'm going to work out for 5 minutes. If after 5 minutes, I don't want to work out anymore, I'll quit. That's an agreement that I make with myself. And never, in the dozens of times that I've made that agreement, have I ever stopped after 5 minutes. Never, not once. No way. I'm already 5 minutes into it. Are you kidding me? So I'll do the same thing when there's something that I'm dragging my feet on in my business. Say I have a list of people to call and follow up on, or, you know, that old traditional network marketing approach of call 50 of your closest friends and family members that you don't ever want to take your calls again. One of those kind of calls. And just get through the first one. Then all of a sudden I'm through 5. And then before I know it, I'm through 20. And really it's just a bunch of leaving messages because nobody answers their phone anymore. So it's almost like just get the ball rolling is one of the ways to take consistent action. But I guess that's just consistent action for that day and doesn't remedy the rest of the week.
So here's where I'm fortunate because of my business. It is all deadline driven, and I constantly have everything I do is on a monthly basis, weekly basis, quarterly basis. So I have deadlines, so that keeps me accountable to making sure even I don't feel like doing something, I have to get it done because people are paying me to get the stuff done for them. So, but that's because I have to. Things without a deadline, like making those phone calls. Yeah, I need to call you for motivation on those days.
I love the whole deadline idea because that's what I tell people. I've had to learn to do that. If they're like, oh, that's great, get it to me, I would say, okay. And then eventually one day I was like, when do you need it by? Because I'm going to write down when you need it by, because otherwise it's not ever going to happen, or it might not ever happen. Or the next thing I know, it's 2 weeks later and I hadn't thought about it since. So what's the deadline? When do you want to buy? And sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, well, then how about Friday? Is Friday good? And I'll give myself a deadline for it. So I like that. And that's like even just having someone to tell my plans to, it like makes me feel more accountable because now it's like, well, did you do that email that you said you want to take care of first thing in the morning? Yes, I did.
Oh my God, I had an email that I was supposed to reply to. I didn't reply for almost 2 weeks. It was sitting in my inbox and I felt so bad because I reply within 24 hours and I didn't. My email was like, I am so sorry. I dropped the ball. I totally forgot. And the person never replied back, but hey, yeah, that was my fault. I dropped the ball and I had a client I probably lost, but it happens.
Can't miss those that were meant to work with you though, right? You sparked something, Tammy, and then it just flew right out of my head again. It'll come back around. Oh, I know exactly what it was. How do you ladies feel about accountability partners? Do you think like having some kind of accountability or accountability partners, accountability groups? I've been in the game for a very long time, so I've seen accountability everything, and I've seen it come and I've seen it go, and I'm curious what other people think about that. How about embracing accountability for taking consistent action?
I want to answer, but honestly, my internet's going in and out. So you guys keep freezing. So I'm going to say goodbye. So I'll watch the replay when I miss the end. Bye, guys. I'm
Hi,
sorry.
Carlene.
I thought she was freezing because I'm looking at her, I'm like, she looks like she's freezing.
Oh,
Accountability group or anything. I don't, that's a hard one. But I guess because now that I'm not a solopreneur, I'm an MLM, I do have the accountability because I have a team that I'm accountable to. So that's kind of like I'm like, okay, no, I don't need it here with the photography, but yes, I need it for the lashes. So it's like, because I have a team, I have to keep the team going. I'm one of their legs, as they put it. So yeah, but as a photographer, it's like I'm only accountable to myself. It's only me. I don't have a team, so it's just me. If I don't do it, it's my fault.
But then that gets back to what Christy was saying earlier, that who are you kind of skipping out on if you don't do your
Right.
get your pictures done.
Yeah, I had for years I have been wanting to write a book, and I just recently took that want and made it a daily action step. And I knew that I wanted to do this, so I reached out to one of my friends who also is an aspiring writer. I guess I would say aspiring author. She's already a writer, and I said, hey, I know that you want to write and I want to write my book. So do you want to be accountability partners? And every day, Monday through Friday, we can just send each other a part of what we wrote for the day. And she said, yeah, let's do that. And I got to say, like, it really helped to get the ball rolling. But somewhere down the line, she dropped off like all of last week, and she didn't do anything yet today or yesterday. However, that's not a judgment. It's just sometimes that's my experience with accountability partners too. It's like, oh, I'll get an accountability partner and then I'll be consistent in showing up, and then they fail to show up. And then it's like, well, there goes all of my plans too. I'm curious what y'all's experience has been. I mean, sometimes accountability, I think, is super helpful. I'm a coach. I mean, that's part of the main reasons that people work with a coach is just that they will show up for themselves. And that's what I make sure people understand. You're investing and then giving the money to me, but you're really investing in yourself. This is money that you're putting back into yourself so that you show up. And if I just gave it away, I assure you, you wouldn't show up, because I've tried that and people don't show up, not in the way that they do whenever they've invested, just like a gym membership or, products that you invest in. You want to use them. You don't want them to just sit there and not be used. But sometimes it's like the accountability seems like a great idea to take that consistent action. But if they fail to show up or you fail to show up and they just let you off the hook, it's like, is it helpful or not? I was curious. So thanks for thinking about that with me.
I guess it depends on the partner. Maybe more than one would be better.
And that's what ended up happening. Another gal's like, hey, I'm writing a book too. Do you want to pair up and we can like be accountability? And I was like, well, I already got one, but why not have two? And so now I just sent it twice. But it is inspiring to like think someone else is showing up. So that's what I figure for now. I'm kind of in the habit now. Now I've done it enough consistently that it's on my head to do every day, which is, part of the whole gig of getting it done is showing up and doing it consistently. So, yeah, but it is, I figured if I keep going and keep sending it to them, then maybe it'll get them back on track or not. I don't know if there's anybody watching this, or if you ladies that have an interest in writing a book and you're not doing it, don't be hard on yourself. You will write it when the time is right, because that's what I feel like the time's right for me right now. So I'm feeling the nudge to show up and I'm showing up. So there's been plenty of times that I have felt this nudge and I didn't show up. So don't judge yourself. When the time is right, you'll do it. You'll do it. but you also have to do it. You can't just not do it and just talk about it. I've talked about it for years. I thought I'd have like 2 of them done by the end of last year. And no, that didn't happen. So
But you're working on it here.
that's right. And I'm like over halfway done with the first draft edit. I hadn't even allowed myself to overthink it yet. So hopefully it'll be done this year.
If you don't overthink it, right?
Exactly, if I don't get caught up in the overthinking process. That was one thing that I wanted to take consistent action on. And I was like, okay, the thought of sitting down and just writing stuff from my head. I mean, I've got a lot here, but to just sit down and write it, where do you start? Where do you begin? What do you say? So I just said, how can I make this easier? And I thought of a program that I already created. And I'm like, well, I'll just pull out that little skeleton and I'll plop it down over here and I'll fill in the gaps and then let that be not just like good, got it done. It will be really great when it is done. But the thing is that it's got to be done before it can be anything other than just a concept. So showing up consistently with that is what's going to get it done at the end. So I said, no overthinking, just write daily. Once it's all done, then I can see, does it match? Does it flow? Does it make sense? Are there errors? But if I try to make it perfect and cohesive and exactly that before it's even all together, it just thankfully didn't make sense to me to do it that way. But it's absolutely in alignment with the whole idea of taking consistent action. And then I questioned, why now? Why am I showing up now? Why didn't I do it before? I never let it be easy before, that's for sure. Who knows?
Well, 8:30 is rapidly approaching. So
I was
we're
going to
have
say, yeah, we're right here at the time. So any final thoughts before we wrap up this conversation, ladies? No? Good to go? All right. Well, thanks for being here. Join us again next week. I can't remember what the topic is, but I'm sure it will be a great one. And thanks for watching. Good night, ladies. Thanks for being here. I can't ever remember where the stop record button is anymore. There it is.